get going with the village board meeting number 3079. It's August 11th. Clerk, please call the roll.
Abernathy? Present. Kim? Meyer? Here. Semple?
Here.
Sullivan?
Here.
Voss?
Here.
Very good. Would everyone please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome, everyone. We have a fairly short agenda relative to other agendas we've had in the past. Let's see here. Joining us tonight, subbing in for Chief Gunther, we have Deputy Chief John Monahan. Subbing in for Chief Sashko, we have Battalion Chief Bill Lark. Welcome. And over here, subbing in for Adam Boucher, we have the Village Engineer Bill Emmerich. Next up, let's do approval of minutes. I need a motion to approve the village board meeting minutes from July 28th, Exhibit 1.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Voss, second by Sullivan. I'll start off with the discussion. There's just a little item, I think it's page 2. Oh, probably third paragraph up where it says Mayor Lentz asserted the lot at 498. If you go to the last sentence there, it says regarding the Winchester Midlothian Road, he, myself, concluded by noting that the village attorney recommended the communication with residents directly affected by the proposed annexation. And I believe I said, what I said was that the village attorneys recommended we communicate with the residents of the 50 households who had been contacted by Gray's Lake. Okay? And I just wanted to make that clarification. Any other discussion on the minutes? Okay, clerk, please call the roll.
Voss?
Yes.
Sullivan?
Yes.
Abernathy?
Yes.
Meyer? Yes. Semple?
Yes.
Motion carries. That takes us to the time in the evening when we would have public commentary. Does anyone here wish to address the board at this time? Yeah, we'll go over here. Go ahead, sir. Just come on up, and the mic is already on. Just give us your name and address, please, first.
My name is Peter Cotto, 1509 Lakewood Court.
Could you spell your last name, please?
C-O-T-T-O.
Thank you.
We're here to find out what's going on with Lake Ridge Homes and our association. I want to put it in on record as far as our association. To be notified of a meeting that's going on, because all the homeowners are here and we haven't been notified of anything of what's going on with Lake Ridge Homes.
Okay.
This is the first time we've ever heard of anything that's going on with the premises.
Well, I'm not sure what you're referring to, but there is a discussions ongoing about another developer taking on the development responsibilities for the remainder of the project.
Okay.
So including public improvements.
As far as our association is intact. We're hearing rumors that they're trying to take over our association that's there already in the property that's been there since we moved there.
We're not aware of that. I know that one of the things that they want is to make sure that there's a homeowners association intact on that project.
There's been one since 2009, since I moved there.
And
there's 8 homeowners there that's been in association with us.
And that's one of the matters that we're having the developer look into and make sure everything is proper. And through these discussions and through the amendment that we're preparing and we anticipate bringing to the board here in a couple of weeks.
Because what I'm hearing from the builder is that he wants to make that a rental community. And in our association bylaws, we have no rentals in our bylaws. And we don't want a rental community there.
Yeah, I would suggest
Those are some
that,
of the issues that we have, other than some of the
Right.
other issues. I'm not
Have
going
you-
to bring it all up today because obviously it's not on the agenda. But I just want to make you guys aware of what's going on
Have
and how
you,
we
uh,
feel about it.
are you the president of the association?
I'm the vice president.
Okay, I would suggest, have you talked to Mr. Barrera?
I've talked to him.
Have you expressed or given us
I've
your,
expressed, yes.
okay, the same concerns that you're just expressing now?
Yes, correct?
Okay,
Yes, you have, and I understand that the developer has reached out and is reaching out to a number of your residents within the subdivision to get together a meeting and
He hasn't
share some
reached out to
information.
any of our residents. I talk to them every day.
yeah, I think the best thing to do is to make sure that you stay in contact with Mr. Barrera to make sure
Okay.
that your concerns are being brought forward.
So it's not going to be heard on another meeting, or
Yeah,
something?
It will be heard at a meeting at this point.
we
It's
need to
it's
be at?
unknown which meeting it will
Okay.
be, but it will be heard.
Okay, so then on record, I'll have that you will contact us so that we know,
I will contact you, yes.
so that we know about the meeting, so we can come here in
I
front of
will.
you guys to find out what's going on?
I will.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right.
Good evening. My name is Joe Schwan, 28630 Champions Court. I have 3 questions. They're old questions, but just want to get updated. Number 1, anything on the Dominic's property?
the short answer is no. Are you talking about the maintenance, or are you talking about fill in the old space?
Fill in the old space.
There's been no change in that front.
Somebody shared with me the other day that the Target does a great job, but if you compare the prices at Target with the Target that's over in Vernon Hills, there's a big difference because it's not competitive over there. So I heard that from a couple of people when they went to exchange things. They said the prices are less in Vernon Hills than they are at the Target that we share here in Mundelein. Second question is in regards to the property on 60 across from Target. Is there, somebody has plowed some things down in there, and I just wondered, is something happening? They cut the crops, they cut a path, a swath through the crops, and it looks like they were doing something. I don't know if they were putting a sewer in or...
No, there's been no permits issued for that site. Whatever they were doing was probably just part of their due diligence, I would imagine.
So there's no announcement or any,
No announcement.
no hearings coming up?
No hearings that have been
Oh,
scheduled.
I'm not trying to pin you down. I just don't want to be surprised by the
No.
small sign on the side of the highway.
No, there are no hearings that have been scheduled for that.
And the other last question is in regards to the Menards property, where they have moved out. Is Walmart still coming in there?
As far as we know, yes. There's still some ongoing discussions between the property owner and Walmart. And so there are a couple of matters that we're bringing to the board, I believe in September or late August. We're targeting those board meeting dates. But yes, as far as we know, they are.
Okay, then, well, I have another question. In the front of the building upstairs, is that wild grass or is that going to be lawn?
Yeah, are you talking about the west side of the building?
Yeah.
We're beginning the work on the retaining walls, so that slowed down the sod laying,
Oh,
which
okay.
comes after the retaining wall.
But everything looks very nice, thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? No one? Okay. We'll close the floor then. We move on to the presentation of awards. There are none tonight, nor do we have any public hearings. That brings me to the mayor's report. And we have a commission appointment this evening to the Economic Development Commission. This would be I need a motion to approve Tim Volpe as a commissioner on the Economic Development Commission.
So moved.
Motion by Voss.
Second.
Second by Abernathy. Discussion. Clerk, please call the roll.
Voss?
Yes.
Abernathy?
Yes.
Semple?
Yes.
Meyer? Yes. Sullivan?
Yes.
Very good. Mr. Volpe, could you come on up here and get sworn in here, please?
Would you raise your right hand and repeat after me? I, Tim Volpe, do solemnly swear
I, Tim Volpe, do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the Office of Economic Development Commission member
of the office of the Economic Development Commission member
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Come on down. All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Volpe, for volunteering to do that. That takes us to the trustee reports. Moving right along, Public Works Committee, Trustee Meyer.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I don't have any motions for tonight. Basically, what we have on the agenda is some discussion about the 2014 hydrant flushing report. And so some of the, annually we go through and we flush all the different hydrants and that. And the program does two things. One, there's a maintenance of the system, and then there's also proactive inspection. And so this year, the Water Division has flushed 1,100 hydrants, and 106 hydrants were found to be in need of repair. 9 were placed out of service, and 97 repairs have been scheduled and will be completed before the winter season. And then part of the package that you have would be a hydrant flushing map. Mr. Emmerich, is there anything else you wanted to say about that or add to anything? Trustee Voss?
So in, I don't know, last year's maybe hydrant flushing, one of the residents, after their hydrant was flushed, complained that it had dyed their street orange for some time. So in this, I read that, you're flushing out minerals. Will that eventually go away, or?
Well, I think as long as there is iron pipe in the system, there'll be some of that corrosion.
No, but the orange that, when we flush the street, if
Oh,
it gets
okay.
dyed, that'll go away with wear and tear, right?
I think so. I think so over time, and the vehicle traffic, the tires will lift it and disperse it.
Okay.
And if we had copper pipes, would the streets be dyed the much preferable color of green?
All right, well, that's really all I have for tonight. I don't have any motions or anything, just a report out on hydrant flushing.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, Finance Committee, Trustee Sullivan.
Mr. Mayor, this evening we have two motions. First is to accept the fiscal 2015 first quarter financial report. This you'll see on Finance Exhibit 1. It is a comparison of the revenues and expenditures for operating general fund and water sewer fund budget, not budget, but actual expenditures and revenue. If anybody has any questions in regard to this exhibit, I can attempt to help you understand it, or perhaps more likely refer your question to our finance director. Not hearing any questions or concerns, I will make the motion to accept the fiscal year ending 2015 first quarter financial report by the Village Finance Exhibit number 1.
Motion by Sullivan,
Second.
second by Voss. Discussion? Clerk, please call the roll.
Sullivan?
Yes.
Voss?
Yes.
Meyer?
Yes.
Abernathy? Semple?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Second motion, which we no doubt will have an abstention, and we've separated this from the bill list, is a motion to approve the payment of bills to AT&T, the amount of $14,616.85. And I will make that motion also.
Second.
Motion by Sullivan, second by Abernathy. Discussion? Clerk, please call the roll.
Sullivan,
Yes.
Abernathy,
Yes.
Semple,
Yes.
Boss,
Yes.
Meyer.
Abstain.
Is that everybody? Did I get everybody?
Motion carries.
Thank you. This evening, on our omnibus list of motions for approval is one to pay a bill list in the amount of $1,049,340.63. Two of the major items on that list, one to Brindley Mountain Fire Department for the ladder truck that we have purchased recently and have taken delivery in good form, I understand.
Deputy Chief Leidig is out there today to inspect it. It should be loaded and shipped out here, hopefully leaving tonight or tomorrow. It should arrive on Friday.
Okay, subject to acceptable receipt of the truck, we can approve this amount. It's $512,500. The second major item is the typical bill to the Central Lake County Water Agency for Lake Michigan Water, and $210,358. Anyone has any questions regard to the bill list? We can consider them. Indeed.
Trustee Abernathy,
What?
did you have a question?
Yeah.
It's not about your water bill, is it?
No. My water bill is actually very nice and low, thank you. I think I'm one of the few. I just, going off the bill list, just have a question, and I don't know who to ask this to, but we've got a few $100s to Office Depot, which is not in Mundelein, when we have Staples in Mundelein, and why we're not shopping in Mundelein. Why we have bills that are being paid to Lowe's when we have a Home Depot and an Ace Hardware in Mundelein, and Lowe's is in Vernon Hills.
I can answer the Lowe's question. It's right across from our sewer plant. And rather than drive this
Well, I get that.
employees to drive back to Mundelein, they go to the Lowe's.
Okay, I can get that a little bit, but Office Depot, really?
Yeah, we've
Well,
had,
there's an answer for that.
yeah, we've had both. As a matter of fact, we set up account. The board had brought this up. I don't know if it was during the budget discussions this past March, but recently. And so we did go and open up an account with Staples, which is in town, and negotiated somewhat of a discount, so on and so forth. And we do compare, internally, we compare office supplies with Office Depot, oftentimes online with Staples, and we go with the one that's the least expensive that gives us the same quality for that product. So that's probably what's happened in that instance. We're finding that, depending on what you're buying, it's cheaper in one Office Depot over Staples or vice versa. So we're looking at price.
Okay, so I mean, 50 cents is, to me, if it's 50 cents or a couple of dollars less, I'd rather shop. I mean, personally, if I'm going shopping, I'll go shop where it's maybe $1 more, but I'm shopping in Mundelein.
Right, yeah.
Even today, the garbage can that I wanted was not at Target. They're like, well, they have it in Vernon Hills, and I said, I don't want to shop in Vernon Hills. I want to shop in Mundelein.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, that's our practice, is that, if they, I mean, certainly if they're within, 25 cents, I mean,
well,
we're not talking big dollars, but the general direction and the practice of the village staff has been, if the product comparatively shop, make sure that you're comparing prices with businesses in town when they're available, and then pick the lowest price. And that's how we operate. So.
Oh,
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, trustee Sullivan.
Was there also an issue in regard to the fact that one of these suppliers would deliver the product to us?
Yeah, there's lots of, I don't know the specific thing that's on the bill pay list, but there's lots of those things that come into play.
Yeah.
You know, delivery, availability of the product, how quickly we need something. I mean, there's just a lot that goes into it. But one thing is clear, that the village board prefers that we shop local, and I think we understand that, and we do take a look at it. We make sure that we see if that product's not available from a vendor inside the village corporate limits. And if it's not, then, you know, we're also looking at price, too. We're sensitive to the taxpayers' dollars, that we're being wise on how we spend that money.
all right.
If there are no other questions, that concludes my report, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Next up, Public Safety Committee, trustee Semple.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. There is no report for public safety, but I would like to turn the floor over to Deputy Chief Monahan to see if there's anything for Police Department.
Thank you. We do, Chief Gunther did want me to pass on that we had another successful National Night Out with over 500 attendees, and thank you for all that came. That is all.
Thanks, Chief. And then to Battalion Chief Lark, anything for fire?
Yes, there is. Chief Sashko wanted me to pass along, the fire department will be doing a blood drive on September 2nd from 12 until 7 p.m. Help us reach our goal of 80 units of blood. Every donor will be entered in the raffle to win a special prize. It'll be announced the week prior. Watch our Facebook page, or you can follow Chief Sashko on Twitter for details. Also, our annual open house is scheduled for September 14th from 10 until 2 p.m. at Station 1 on Midlothian Road. Asking you to join us for a fun-filled day where you can learn about fire and EMS services and all the different things that we do. There'll be many demonstrations from auto extrication to a live fire. Have the kids participate in Kitty Combat Challenge, and also you get your photo taken and some firefighting gear for a great Christmas card. As mentioned earlier, Deputy Chief Leidig is out in Pennsylvania inspecting the truck, the new ladder truck. When it arrives, we'll begin training and moving equipment from the previous ladder truck onto it. We currently have 4 interested parties waiting to purchase the current truck. And the last thing is Chief Sashko would like to remind you that the request for the purchase of a replacement ambulance will be on the August 25th Village Board agenda. Contact him with any questions that you may have. The board should have received the packet of information on the vehicle recommendation by email on August 1st. And that is all.
Thanks, guys. That's all, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you very much, trustee Semple. Next up, Community and Economic Development Committee, trustee Voss.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. First thing is to remind everyone that Park on Park is Wednesday night. It's supposed to be really great weather. Next up, we have some agenda items from the planning and zoning. So the first one is regarding 2050 South Lake Street. As we all know, that property has been vacant for some time, and we have a property owner who's interested in redeveloping that location, but they're short a little bit of parking. So I would like to make a motion to accept the Planning and Zoning Commission minutes and findings of fact as seen as Exhibit CEDC-1.
Okay, motion by Voss.
Second.
Second by Semple. Discussion. Clerk, please call the roll.
Voss.
Yes.
Semple.
Yes.
Sullivan.
Yes.
Abernethy.
Yes.
Meyer.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, next I'll make a motion to accept the Planning and Zoning Commission's recommendations.
Motion by Voss.
Second.
Second by Semple. Discussion. Clerk, please call the roll.
Voss.
Yes.
Semple.
Yes.
Meyer.
Yes.
Abernethy.
Yes.
Sullivan.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, and lastly, I'd like to make a motion to authorize staff to draft an ordinance granting a parking variation to 2050 South Lake Street.
Second.
Motion by Voss, second by Semple. Discussion.
I would just like to formally note that I am saying we should approve a variance, so write it on your calendar, everybody.
That is one for the book.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Trustee Sullivan.
as I understand it, we don't know how much space, we know the square footage, we don't know the type of businesses or the number of businesses that will be in this little divided up building?
At this time, we don't.
Okay. And we're going from 38 spaces to 30?
Correct.
But because we don't know the number or type of businesses, we don't know how many employee spaces that will be required?
We're treating the property as a retail outlet.
Okay, it's just on a square footage?
On a square footage basis, requiring a total of 36 spaces, and the property allows for 29.
Okay, but some of them could be professional spaces, barber shop,
That is-
dental office.
That is correct. At this point in time, the property owner has not reached out and solicited any specific business until they secured the parking variation and is working through Pete on securing the building permit. That building permit is pretty far along, just about ready to be issued. But again, this parking variation came up and everything was put on hold until this matter was resolved.
Okay. How many businesses might there be? 3 or 4? You think? There's
Pete, if I remember correctly, the space is divided up into 7 units?
7 units?
Yes.
And so that would be like 4.5 parking spaces if there were 7 businesses there?
Potentially. We're assuming that you will have 7 different businesses within that center. It's very possible that you may have a business that may have interest in 2 spaces or more spaces. And certainly the number of businesses then within that building would be less. But at this point in time, at least as drawn on the plans, there is a potential for 7 businesses.
Okay. I think things are going to be tight there, but the owner is not going to make that improvement without the variance. And if he's willing to risk that, evidently, who are we to worry about it?
Well, and the overflow parking, they have an agreement with.
No.
No?
There was an agreement,
Okay.
and as part of these improvements, there were numerous efforts to revise, amend the agreement, and so the property owner and the village, with the assistance of Mr. Marino, went through great lengths to make those amendments, continue that parking agreement, and those discussions just didn't come to fruition. And so that's why you have the need for the parking variation, because there wasn't a willing, well, I guess the
Okay.
hotel didn't accept the revisions as proposed to the parking agreement.
And did they try to reach out to Super 8 on the north?
They did not, because the agreement that was in place was with the hotel, and so they've spent a lot of time with the hotel because that was the agreement that was had, and it seemed as a natural just to amend an existing agreement.
Okay.
Anyone else? Okay, clerk, please call the roll.
Voss?
Yes.
Semple?
Yes.
Abernathy?
Yes.
Meyer?
Yes.
Sullivan?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, next up is regarding Cardinal Square. There are several motions, as seen as Exhibit CEDC 2, regarding Plan Commission actions and amendments for Cardinal Square to go on. So first, I'll make a motion to accept the Planning and Zoning Commission minutes and findings of fact.
Second.
Motion by Voss, second by Abernathy. Discussion? Clerk, please call the roll.
Voss?
Yes.
Abernathy?
Yes.
Semple?
Yes.
Meyer?
Yes.
Sullivan?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Next is a motion to accept the Planning and Zoning Commission's recommendations. I'll make that motion.
Second.
Motion by Voss, second by Abernathy. Discussion? Clerk, please call the roll.
Voss.
Yes.
Abernathy.
Yes.
Meyer.
Yes.
Sullivan.
Yes.
Semple.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Next, I'll make a motion to pass an ordinance approving the Fifth Amendment to the redevelopment agreement of Cardinal Square.
Motion by Voss,
Second.
second by Sullivan. Discussion? Clerk, please call the roll.
Voss.
Yes.
Sullivan.
Yes.
Semple.
Yes.
Meyer.
Yes.
Abernathy.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Next up is a motion, I'll make a motion to pass an ordinance approving amendment to special use permit and amendment to final plan for Building C subphase Cardinal Square.
Motion by Voss,
Second.
second by Abernathy. Discussion? Clerk, please call the roll.
Voss.
Yes?
Abernathy.
Yes.
Sullivan.
Yes.
Semple.
Yes.
Meyer.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Next, I'll make a motion to adopt a resolution approving final plat of re-subdivision and covenants for Cardinal Square.
Motion by Voss,
Second.
second by Meyer. Discussion? Clerk, please call the roll.
Voss.
Yes?
Meyer.
Yes.
Abernathy.
Yes.
Sullivan.
Yes.
Semple.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, are you all still with me? Here now, I'll make a motion to pass an ordinance amending Chapter 20.24 of the Mundelein Municipal Code entitled Through One-Way and Yield Right-of-Way Streets.
10.
10.
10.
10.
10 point.
10.24, sorry. Sorry.
Motion by Voss,
Second.
second by Abernathy. Discussion? Clerk, please call the roll.
Voss.
Yes.
Abernathy.
Yes.
Meyer.
Yes.
Semple.
Yes.
Sullivan.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, here it is, the final one. I'll make a motion to pass an ordinance authorizing balcony encroachments into the village right-of-way, Cardinal Square.
Motion by Voss,
Second.
second by Abernathy. Discussion? Clerk, please call the roll.
Voss.
Yes.
Abernathy.
Yes.
Semple.
Yes.
Meyer.
Yes.
Sullivan.
Yes.
Motion carries.
That is all.
Okay. Thank you very much, Trustee Voss. Next up, Communication and Marketing Committee. Trustee Kim is not present. Trustee Voss.
Thank you so much. I'm not aware of anything that, so just I'm going to say that our wonderful clerk passed on some information from a resident, which I passed on to Dawn. So I believe we're going to have available like car Klingons or magnets, thank you, promoting Shop Mundelein and our logo. So watch for those. They should be out soon. Woohoo! That's all.
Okay. Next up, Trustee Abernathy, Transportation and Infrastructure.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just have a few things for the evening. First, I have a motion to approve a preliminary engineering services agreement for motor fuel tax funds with Gwalt Hamilton and Associates Incorporated for the design of fiscal year end 2016 street and infrastructure improvement project in the amount of $89,720 and authorize the mayor and village clerk to sign the agreement as seen in Exhibit T&I-1.
Motion by Abernathy,
Second.
second by Meyer. Discussion. Trustee Sullivan.
Preliminary engineering services, is this a total design engineering?
It is, it's total, that's what I labels his agreement.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else? Okay, clerk, please call the roll.
Abernathy.
Yes.
Meyer.
Yes.
Voss.
Yes.
Sullivan.
Yes.
Semple.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, next I have a motion to approve and authorize the village clerk's signature on a resolution for improvement by municipality under the Illinois Highway Code appropriating $1,500,000 in motor fuel tax revenue to be utilized for the fiscal year end 2016 street and infrastructure improvement project as seen on Exhibit T&I-2.
Motion by Abernathy,
Second.
discussion, or, second by Meyer. Discussion. Clerk, please call the roll.
Abernathy.
Yes.
Meyer.
Yes.
Semple.
Yes.
Voss.
Yes.
Sullivan.
Motion carries.
Okay, and last, I have a motion to approve a professional services agreement with Bollinger, Lack, and Associates Incorporated for construction engineering services on the Town Line Road, Route 60 Water Main Improvement Project in an amount not to exceed $148,449.24, and authorize the village engineer to sign the agreement as seen in Exhibit TNI-3.
Motion by Abernathy.
Second.
Second by Meyer. Discussion. Clerk, please call the roll.
Abernathy?
Yes.
Meyer?
Yes.
Sullivan?
Yes.
Semple?
Yes.
Voss?
And
Motion carries.
that is all I have for you this
You
evening.
just spent a lot of money for us.
I did. I spent a lot of money, but I'm good at that.
All right. Truth be told, we probably should spend a bit more on those topics, right?
Should.
So, but
We don't have it.
not this year, right? Okay. Other reports, item G. Does any trustee have any other reports, comments, concerns?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I do.
Trustee Meyer.
I received a lot of positive feedback about the movie that was shown at National Night Out, and a request and question of why doesn't the village do something like that more often, kind of like, the summer concerts, that maybe we can have some summer outdoor movies.
I got the same comment watching that. The theater, the screen was very impressive. The speaker, the sound system was excellent, and I had the same thought myself. I think we have to look into that maybe. I mean, it's, I don't know who would host it, and there you go. You want to turn your mic on? Say that.
I said it might be a good thing for Mundelein Community
There you go.
Connection.
All right. But no, I agree. It was very well received.
Yeah, so that's all I had, just an acknowledgement that it was well received, and, gee, why don't we do more of that?
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, Trustee Sullivan.
I wonder if I might ask a question of Bill. On the fiscal year ending 16 street program, $1.5 million, we're not going to resurface every street in the Ambria subdivision, but every street is here. Is this just a repair of the settled seams as well as some resurfacing? What's the program there? What's on there's a bid document for this already?
There isn't a bid document yet,
Right.
but it's, when you go through the Illinois Department of Transportation process, it's much easier to remove streets than to add streets. So we've included all the streets. We're usually designing towards a number, towards a budgeted number, and until we create the contract, plans and the specs and the limits, it's hard to say how much we can do. So we just include all the streets, and we do as much as we can. And so we'll just pick it up from that point afterwards.
Okay. The streets in Ambria do not need to be reconstructed.
Correct.
They just
Correct.
grind and overlaid?
Correct. Maybe
Okay.
some curb repair.
And we all know, especially those that live there, they have this particular situation where you have a settled seam, or a seam opens up and then the pavement begins to settle, and it's sort of like a reverse speed bump. It's a drop instead of an elevation. Are those going to be dealt with somehow, or you think they have settled as much as they're going to?
I think after about 20-plus years, they're settled about as much as they're going to. But we will be addressing that if that needs
okay.
special attention, separate patching, and so forth.
But this is a resurfacing project. It's
It
just
is.
not a spot repair.
Right. The area, the Walnut, Carlisle Park, and Winthrop, that area is more of a reconstruction.
Yeah, okay. But Ambria is some resurfacing, but it's not going to be all these streets.
Right. It's a preservation. It's a renewal of the pavement.
And we don't know which streets they'll be, because everybody's real interested out there.
Yeah, well, the thought is to work from the back towards the entrance.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, can I ask you a question? And I don't know if this is the right time to bring this question up, but I'm going to bring it up anyways. Is the order that we have our meeting like set by some other standard? My question is there any way presentations and awards might be able to go before public commentary? So if we ever have different awards, they could go before public comments?
Yeah, it is set by ordinance.
Okay.
There's an order to it, but to simply move an item, oftentimes there's no presentation. But if the board and the mayor wants to move something around, they just simply ask for that to occur, a motion, I think, to move it up on the agenda. So you can do that at the board's discretion, any meeting,
For that particular meeting.
for that particular meeting.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
Just
didn't
by
know, yeah,
motion.
I didn't know how that worked, if that was,
Yeah, it's set by ordinance, the order, but you have flexibility at every meeting, just by simple motion to move it.
it would be something you would do like after you approve minutes.
Yeah, yeah. Mhm.
Okay. I just,
Okay.
thank you.
Anyone else? Any other reports? Okay, so that takes us to the omnibus vote items. There are 2 items on the omnibus list, items A and B. Does any trustee wish to pull one or the other or both from the omnibus vote list?
Well, you had a 50-50 shot. I'm going to go for it. I'd like item A off, please, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, item A for trustee Voss. Anyone else? Okay, then let's go to item B. The omnibus vote list would include only item B. I need a motion to pass item B.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Abernathy, second by Sullivan. Discussion? Clerk, please call the roll.
Abernathy?
Yes.
Sullivan?
Yes.
Semple?
Yes.
Voss?
Yes.
Meyer?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item A, trustee Voss.
Item A is a motion to approve a department purchase order in the amount of $50,000 from Sawville Tree Service for the emerald ash borer tree and stump removals. And so, is this an amount for trees already removed? Is this an amount that is going to sit there and we'll use it throughout the year? Can we get an update on this?
I can't give an update. I don't know.
Anybody else?
I don't, we can provide the board a report. I'm not, I don't think this is for work that's been performed. I think it's for work that's going to be performed, for the removal of ash trees.
Okay.
But it's
I
a-
think
What-
I'd like a little bit more information
Yeah.
and also sort of an explanation of how they're doing this, because in my neighborhood, there were 3 trees in a row that were all X'd, which I would assume means they're all going to come down. 2 came down, and the worst one still there. I am sure that they have a rhyme or reason, but I can't figure it out. On one block, the trees are gone, and the next block, half of them are and half of them aren't, and they didn't come back. So I'd like some better explanation of how we're doing this program.
Yeah, we'll provide a written report. I think there was a program approved by the board, 2 years ago. I think it was a spending program that the board approved, but we can give you a more detailed written report, specifically what we're doing this year. So,
All right, so based on that, you think this is just a purchase orders to have money there, that we're not paying a particular bill. I'll make a motion to approve the department purchase order in the amount of $50,000 from Sawville Tree Service for EAB tree and stump removals. And I just want to add, and look, they're a Mundelein company.
Second.
Motion by Voss, second by Sullivan. Discussion?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I would
Yes,
say,
trustee Sullivan.
I'd like to confirm and reassure everybody that this is from a budgeted line item for the removal of diseased emerald ash trees, or ash trees diseased with the emerald ash borer. So we've budgeted this amount. Now we're approving its expenditure.
Okay. Anyone else? Discussion? Okay, clerk, please call the roll.
Voss?
Yes.
Sullivan?
Yes.
Meyer?
Yes.
Abernathy?
Yes.
Semple?
Yes.
Motion carries. This takes us to village staff reports. Village Administrator, Mr. LeVay.
I have no report tonight, Mr. Mayor.
Thank Thank you. Village Attorney, Mr. Marino?
I have no report, Mr. Mayor, and I understand there is no need for executive session.
Okay. Thank you. Village Clerk?
No report.
Okay. And that takes us to item 8, other business. Any other business at all? Much less speak? Okay, I just need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion by Sullivan.
Second.
Second by Voss. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Same sign. Thank you very much. We're adjourned.